Members of the Barrio, today I'm going to be sharing 7 cool things to do in New York City this summer. We're also going to talk about what's reopened and even the July 4th fireworks show. Watch till the end, we've got a lot to discuss. Let's begin with rooftops, and New York City is the ultimate rooftop destination, from parties to bars, concerts, and more. Is there a better way to spend a summer night? But where should you go? I'm gonna start with something pretty new called Panda Music. They hold small concerts on a Williamsburg, Brooklyn rooftop. I had the chance to go last weekend. It was so cool. They also sell bottles of wine up there, and if you're looking for a really different date idea for this summer, they could definitely be your spot. Gonna put a link down below in the description if you're looking to buy some tickets for it. I also did a whole video on rooftop bars in New York City a couple of summers ago. Now, I'm gonna tell you my favorite one from that list. It's still my favorite, Dear Irving on Hudson. Not to name names, but Dear Irving actually knows how to make a good cocktail because they're in the same family as Dear Irving Gramercy, an amazing cocktail bar. They've got this 1960s decor. It's a classy spot. Would also be an incredible date idea, but a good spot to bring friends for the nice views as well. While we're on the subject of rooftops, I constantly get asked about the best observation decks, and I'm leaning on the Edge for being the one you want to visit in the summer of 2021. It's the newest. It has the most unique vantage point on the west side of Manhattan. It's got this futuristic feel to it with the glass leaning over, and it's also the only rooftop where you can look down through the glass at the city below you, although I'll warn you, don't do it if you're afraid of heights. Let's talk about the reopening of New York City, and back on June 15th, the state basically lifted almost every single COVID restriction that was in place, with a few exceptions, because about 70% of the adult population in New York has received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. And this is huge for New York City. Everybody knows how bad New York got it last March and April. It is a major step forward for the recovery of the economy here. Now, you do still need to wear your mask on public transit, in hospitals, and in some school settings. Outside of that, it's really up to each individual business. I'll tell you, just yesterday, I was at a bar in the Village. No masks required. Tons of people around. If you're still uncomfortable with that, sure, you can bring your mask inside, but it is gonna vary business to business. My supermarket, for example, still does require that you wear a mask. And for all my viewers watching from the EU, from the UK, I feel for you. I know you wanna travel here. I wish I had an update on when the US is gonna end that travel ban from Europe. And when I have an update, I'll definitely say something on the channel. You probably know how much I love food. Street food, cheap food, all food, as long as it's good. And a cool thing to do in the summer here is visit one of the night markets. I just recently went to the Bronx night market for the first time up on Fordham Road, and we've got a full video coming up about this, but let me tell you, it was so much fun. They had 20 or so vendors, and we ate so well. Filipino-inspired birria tacos, French toast bites, chicken and waffle sandwiches, and it's every Saturday from 12 to 7 p.m. running until November 13th. My favorite all-time New York City food market is also back, the Queens Night Market. Now, they are requiring time tickets up until July 10th. You will need to go to their websites to grab those tickets in advance, but they have up to 50 different stalls, and the food selection is as diverse as Queens itself. From just about every continent. Heck, if Antarctica had a type of food, you'd probably find it at the Queens Night Market. Summer's a great time to escape to an island, even if those islands are right here. And we're gonna begin with one of my all-time favorites, Governor's Island, just a stone's throw from Manhattan. Reserve your $3 ferry ticket in advance, although it is free on Saturdays and Sundays before 12 o'clock. And one of my favorite things to do on Governor's Island is just to rent a city bike and go around admiring all the incredible views. It's also a great spot to have a picnic. And something new this year is they're having late night hours from July 2nd to September 4th. The island's gonna be open until 10 p.m. Hint, hint, sunset views. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that myself at some point this summer, so say hi if you see me there. Little Island, this opened last month. It's probably the most popular tourist attraction at the moment in the city. Now, you do need to get a time ticket if you go after 12 o'clock. It's a 3-acre floating island at Pier 55 on the Hudson, and if you missed the video we just made about it, be sure to check that out. Don't sleep on City Island in the Bronx. This is the closest New York City has to a New England fishing village kind of vibe. I would go there if you want to see something very different that has a cute small town kind of vibe and you want to eat really good seafood. It is not a place to go swimming. None of their beaches are open to the public. When it's hot and humid in New York, sometimes you just want some air conditioning, and museums are the perfect balance of getting AC and experiencing some of that world-famous culture in New York. Now, I could tell you some of the obvious museums that you've probably heard of in the past, and you should visit them. If you want something new, try the Van Gogh experience in New York City. Now, this made its rounds all over the world and finally landed in the Big Apple. Special thanks to Sarah Funk for letting me use some clips from her review of it. I haven't gone yet myself, and make sure to watch Sarah's summer guide after mine for even more ideas of things to do in New York City. Now, this is a unique and fun way to experience Van Gogh. It's family friendly, as you can see Sarah and her daughter having a great time. And with over 500,000 cubic feet of projections, this is gonna keep you busy for a while. There's tickets starting at $39, and I need to check this out myself. Let's talk New York City beaches, and I'll be upfront. I do not think the beaches in New York City are the greatest, for swimming at least, but they'll certainly do the trick on a hot day, and my favorite is Rockaway Beach. You can go there, have a beer, have a burger at Rippers, a lot of fun. An alternative is Coney Island. Go to some of the amusement attractions there. That's a really classical New York City seaside kind of activity I think you need to do at least once in your life. And as a special bonus this year, they are having a July 4th fireworks show. It's gonna be at 10 o'clock. It's only gonna be 15 minutes long, so this is an alternative to the Macy's 4th of July Spectacular. We're gonna get to that in a little bit. New York City has some incredible parks, and having a picnic in the shade on a hot summer afternoon, always a good idea. We're gonna start with Prospect Park, and I don't think Prospect Park gets the love that it deserves. I did an entire video guide to Prospect Park just a few months back. Make sure to check that one out. I mean, it was designed by the same architects as Central Park, and in many ways it's better, from lakes to biking around to just lounging. And Central Park, of course, deserves no introduction. It's honestly good in any season. And if you're nearby the Bronx, don't sleep on Pelham Bay Park, New York's largest public park. With so much to do up there, it also does not get the credit that it deserves. So check out any of those 3 parks in the summer for a good time. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville is opening this July next to Times Square. This is a bit of a wild card for the video, but I feel like this hotel or resort has so many summer vibes to it that it could be really interesting. It's gonna have 4 different bars, including the Land Shark Bar, which is gonna have Times Square's only outdoor pool. Imagine the photo opportunities from there. Now, I don't know if you have to be a hotel guest to swim in the pool, and rooms are starting at $220 a night. You're gonna be able to book that hotel beginning July 12th. How could I make this video without mentioning the July 4th Macy's fireworks show? It's gonna be their biggest one ever and the largest fireworks display in the United States, starting at 9:45 p.m. on July 4th. It's gonna be televised as well. They're gonna have up to 2 miles of viewing areas. Now, they have not released information yet about where you need to enter and what the policies are gonna be. Check out the Macy's website closer to for more details. As an alternative, you could watch the Jersey City 4th of July show. I actually watched this from Manhattan 2 years ago. It was good, but I have to say that the Macy's show is gonna be a lot crazier. So if you want the absolute biggest, baddest fireworks show, you need to find a way to watch from the East River. Guys, tell me in the comments if I missed anything that you suggest to do in New York during the summer. I'm curious. Thank you so much for watching. As always, till next time.